Hi there. Welcome back to The Whole Bucket and Defemorember. It's the very last prompt. At least for me, because I didn't do the doors thing, but I have my own doors. I didn't do the doors, and this will be my last prompt, but the book isn't done, and I will do a flip through when it is done. So there are more videos to come with this stuff, but what? But nothing, I guess. Okay, so we were on this page when last we left. This is the Spaghetti Box Windows one. And I actually did spaghetti box windows, like very literal, right? But I turned it into a French door. And I said the story would continue. So I was having a really rough health time. I have not gotten any better. So this video is late. The project is not done. And we're going to move on to the last prompt anyway. And I am sitting amidst a giant mess because, well, you see what I've done in here. I did mention in my last video that my idea for this would be a big process. And I was not wrong. Although I'd made it a little smaller than it was going to be, it still turned out huge. So, in the story, we had, whoops, here we go. We had snack thieves. They ran into the picnic basket of Effie, Ember, and Bronwyn, and it just seemed to be abandoned or lost or something, so they helped themselves to some snacks, and it was lovely. But it turned out that Effie and Ember were not upset about it at all, because they realized that hours had passed and somebody would assume that it was a lost picnic basket, and it was fine. It was funny to them. But Bronwyn, because she's young and she was looking forward to some of her treats in there, was very sad. And there was somebody sitting in a tree nearby and heard her crying, and she was sad, and they felt really bad. And news went around to all the folks that it actually did belong to somebody, that they eventually made it back, and it left a little girl sad. So they felt really bad. A few days passed, and, you know, people were going about their life. Effie, Ember, Bronwyn, they went about their life. I don't know how they handled it. I'm sure they got Bronwyn some sort of treat, right? And everything was fine. One day, Revan, oh my gosh, that's my cat. One day, Ember wakes up, and under her tree is a whole bunch of color. And she's like, what the heck is down there? So she goes down and looks. Sorry, desperately needed a sip of coffee. So she goes down and looks, and she finds this stack, a whole stack of brightly wrapped boxes. And it has a note on, and it says it's for her. So she opens one of the boxes, and then opens another one, and then opens another one. Is like, oh my goodness, I can't believe this. And she quickly ran over to Effie's house and is pounding on the door. Effie, come out, see what's at your door. And sure enough, there was a stack at Effie's door also. And Ember already assumes what's in there because they look the same as hers. And she goes, Effie, open them. Open them, Effie. This is so cool. Open them. So Effie starts opening boxes. And guess what's in them? All kinds of snacks. So Remy, gosh darn me, Ember goes back home, gets all of her snacks and Bronwyn, takes it all over to Effie's house, And they're like, they read the notes together that came with the packages, and the notes say, to Effie, Ember, and Bronwyn, we're sorry we took your snacks. Here are some retreats. So here are some snacks for you to make up for the snacks we took. Look at, I got gesso on there. I'm so sad. I'm gonna have to fix that. Anyway, so Effie, Ember, and Bronwyn were amazed, and they were so thrilled at the gift and the thoughtfulness of their forest friends, and they made it a really super special day for Bronwyn, because she was the one that was like, what the heck happened here? What happened to my picnic, right? Little kids don't understand stuff like that. Even though she got a fun day with the fairies, she still wanted to know where her picnic was. They decided to make a day of it. So they took all of their treats into a nearby meadow. And they took a blanket and all of their treats, and they decided to have a picnic. Well, I don't know if you know this, but you can't really pull the wool over the eyes of a raven very easily. And Ember knew that there were eyes watching them to see how their gift was received and if they enjoyed it. And Ember told Effie, we're being watched. They're out there watching us to see if we like our gift. And Effie's like, well, there's enough here for everybody. Why don't you call them over? So they did. And all of the friends came over, and they had a giant picnic in the meadow. So you can see, because of the way I'm fussing, that this is not glued down yet. But this is why my desk is such a mess. I printed out so much tiny food. And then I fussy cut so much tiny food. And I think I've decided on this right here. This tiny food and this layout, and this blanket back here is a ginger scrap. She sent me the cutest little doily. I think that was from her. Maybe it wasn't. Well, I had the cutest little doily, and now it's a blanket, forest animal blanket for a big giant picnic. What's this? Oh, it's a jar of jam on its side. So we have bread here, fruit, jam, pickles, pie, cake, and this one right here is supposed to be center, because that one was in a special box just for Bronwyn. They made her a giant cupcake of her very own. Okay, so I'm going to have to finish this page up. But today's page is the very last prompt. And that's what's going to go on this side. And I'm not exactly sure how we're going to do it yet, but I am sure of what the story is. Look at another jar of jam. Get over there. I'll clean later. Here's the end of the story. Summer went by. And it's nearing the end of summer. Autumn's about to start. Some of the cooler weather's coming in. And Bronwyn has grown. And Bronwyn is now off on her own, just like her brothers. And Remy is preparing for autumn weather. And all of the other animals are preparing for a long winter. Autumn is the time to get ready and to do hunting and harvesting and stashing things away, and everybody's really busy. So it's down to just Effie and Ember again after a wild and wonderful year. Ember and Effie decided to go on a little trip. And while they were on their little trip, Effie said to Ember, I want you to know something. It's been almost a year that we've been friends, and this has been a fabulous year. And I just think of you as my best friend now. But before I met you, and when I first met you, I had such a crush on you. You are the most beautiful thing I had ever seen flying in the air. Like when you fly and all of those sparkly colors come through in the sunlight. It's just amazing and so graceful and so beautiful. I had a terrible crush on you. I am so glad that we are now friends. And Ember said that she too was thrilled that they had found each other and became such friends, such awesome friends. And they spent the day at the beach, exploring and talking about their past year, their first year, and what might next year bring. Lots of daydreaming and that kind of stuff. And then it was the end. Yeah, that's their first year together. So I'm not sure what we're going to do to create this page, but I am sure that this is what we're going to use because they went walking at the beach. I liked that there were 5 birds in this picture because I thought maybe that was Ember's kids kind of flying around, following them a little bit, hanging out, right? And I'm going to cut, rather than try to draw some feet on Ember, I kind of want to tuck Ember into the, I want to tuck Ember into this flower because I want to make it look like she's farther away. So I'm going to cut just this little pocket for her to sit in. I'm not sure how much of a pocket we're going to need. And actually that doesn't work because the whole thing, a bunch of her would have to sit back there. Like all the wings and everything. I mean all of her tail and everything. So I'm going to try to cut a longer line. I'm going to try to put her behind all the, I'm going to try to put her, wow, I can't words today. I'm going to try to put her behind the grasses and stuff. Cut on the bottom side of this flower. The flower can be in front of her. No, this flower would end up behind her. Those flowers can end up in front of her. Okay, let's see if that tucks her closer to the beach. Does that put her closer to the beach? It does. That gives us some decent dimension. Okay, I'm going to go with that. I'm going to go with it. It's not perfect. It's not perfect, but it doesn't have to be. So this is my layout for the last page. There's not much to it. There doesn't need to be a lot to it. Because some of the other pages got really super complicated, and having an easy page is not that big a deal. I mean, there is nothing wrong with it. So I'm gonna edge all of this stuff quick while I think about what am I going to do with the rest of this page? Because it can't just be plain old white. Can't just be plain old white. I could just watercolor paint it a sky blue. In fact, that's what I'll do. I'll do it a sky blue at the top, and I'll do maybe an orange or a yellow or something sandy maybe at the bottom, and we'll just blend them up. And see if we can kind of get a repeat. In fact, let's do that right now, because we can let it dry while we're putting the rest of the page together. And I think because this piece is bigger than the page, I think we're going to create a journaling space and a flip out feature. But I don't know that for sure because I want the two friends to be together still. Huh. Well, I mean, I'm going to get some watercolor stuff together. I'll be right back. Okay. Watercolor supplied, and we're going to have to do this careful because this side is not treated with gesso at all, and we don't want to mess up this side. So, I don't know if you remember, but we did the napkin trick on my spaghetti boxes, and I wanted to push back. They were really, really bright, and a lot of other things are really very subtle in this book, or dark, deep dark colors. And this was too bright to kind of go with it, and I wanted the presents that go in here to show up better than the doors. So I gessoed the doors, and I have a plan for what we're going to do there. Just saying. So in the meantime, we need to be a little bit careful. This is not gessoed, and we don't want to make a mess of the other side. So a lot of water in the paint is fine, but the paint itself is going to need to be applied more carefully than I usually do. There's actually still some gesso in my brush because all I did was put it in the water and went to bed. So I'm not sure what that's going to do to my paints here, and I'm not sure what it's going to do to the page, but you know, that's okay. But you can see that it's making it really light. I don't know that I mind that. Let's move over to the orange and yellow department and lighten up this sand base a bit. All right. No, Effie is almost falling off my desk, and Ember needs to get out of the picture for a minute. Oh, that's matching really well. This is matching really well. Okay. Liking it so far. I think we need to do it some more. And the yellow and orange side. If any of you are actual watercolor painters, I apologize for my I apologize for my disrespectful methods of watercolor. Okay, they're not disrespectful, but I am not a watercolor artist person. I have no idea what I'm doing when it comes to watercolor. I put water in and then color comes out. That's about it. Oh, I didn't want green. I wanted blue. Silly girl. Okay, let's try that again. I was thinking I'm going to put the blue on the sky and it's going to come down into the yellow and it's going to turn greenish brown. So I put my brush in the green instead. That's interesting. It's about par for the course, I guess, for me. I'm not alone in that. I have seen other people do it too, so I know that there are people out there going, yeah. Sometimes our brains get ahead of our hands, right? And that did come down into a very nice green. All right, let's take a look at that now. Yeah, that's all working. Even the brownish green is going with the brownish greens that are in here. I got away easy peasy lemon squeezy with that. I don't usually get that lucky. So I'm just going to count it done because in true confessions form, I will say it again. I am a spectacular success at overworking my colors. So I think that I should try to learn a lesson and just stop right now and let this dry. What I am going to do though, because I'm not a big splatter girl. I don't, even when I do like big mixed media stuff, I don't do the splatter thing. But I'm going to do some splatters because I want to take this shimmer spray, which I've mentioned before, but this is a terrible spray bottle. It just is not. If you want a light mist, it's not gonna work. You just get blobs. But what if I do the trick you see a lot of people do, and I take the nozzle out, right? And do this. So we put some sparkle in the beach. I can't get, how do you get them to go where you want them to? We'll even put some sparkle in the sky. There we go. Wait, I need them over here more. Because that's going to be a bare spot. Okay. So, when those dry, they should just be a little, you know, a little fleck of shimmer in that spot. Which is a lot, I mean, that happens a lot at the beach, right? Because the sun hits the edges of the sand and the water and it sparkles. So I thought that was pretty appropriate. Now, before we set this aside to dry to finish the other part of the page, I'm going to edge it because, why? Because I edge everything. I remember being a little kid in school and I didn't like to color outside the lines, and when there were no lines and we drew our own pictures, I still liked to outline things. That has not changed. I do remember a teacher telling me though that I shouldn't do that because things in real life are not outlined. I have now learned from other artists and from you guys who watch this, and I watch you guys and whatever, right? I watch so many of you and get so inspired. But what I've learned from watching everybody and from comments that I get from people who watch is that art is your own. If you like everything outlined, make everything outlined. So I do. Maybe someday I'll branch out past outlined, but I doubt it because it's been a lifelong trend. Okay, let's set that aside. Oh my gosh, my desk is such a mess. After today, I'm cleaning it all up and rebooting. Yeah, I'm rebooting. I don't know what I was going to say after that, but I am rebooting my whole desk before we move on with finishing the Defemorember book. But we will get rid of all the bulk because we won't need most of this stuff anymore. We will keep our ginger scraps handy. We will keep little bits of stuff for continuity, right? So mushrooms and the seasonal leaves, and I don't know what else. Whatever I run into while I'm cleaning up, that will help with that continuity bit. And the finer levels of decorating. So I think that, I don't know for sure because I think videos are different than real life, but I seem to do this stuff very different from other people. I doubt I'm alone because, you know, I don't know if there's any such thing as actually unique, but I don't like make a thing and it's all the way done. I tend to do everything just like you would do a collage or a mixed media piece, right? Where you start with a base and then you start with all the bigger bits and then you work your way down to the tiniest bits and the detail and the cleanup. That's how I approach journal making too. I don't know if that'll change over time. I would imagine it might, because once I learn more about what, I don't know, what I like to do as far as supplies go, as far as creation goes, once I learn all that, I might change the way I do things. Maybe I will end up with a finished product. But I don't think so. Just because this is the way that makes sense in my brain. And I think that's just a personal thing for probably everybody. The way you work at art is probably very personal. Even though it might have some similarities to other people, yeah, you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. All right, let's see. What do we got? We have an Effie that's going to go over here. We have an Ember that is going to be a little ways away, hunkering down on the beach a bit. I think we'll put her kind of like that-ish. Now here's my problem. If I make this a fold out kind of thing, somebody's going to get covered up, and I don't know if I want that. So I don't like that. Maybe that would be okay. That still looks like Ember's a little farther away, looking at the sea, and Effie is exploring some flowers, right? Or do I need an Effie that's facing the other direction? Let's take a look here if we have another Effie. Oops. Just throw stuff around. Just throw stuff around. I thought I had another Effie, but I maybe not, because I have, oh my gosh, I have a ton of Effies. All right, I'm going to cut out another Effie. Hang on. Okay, so I actually ended up cutting out a few more Effies because I didn't really know how I wanted to go. So there's the page. There is Ember sitting off in the leaves, what have you. I moved her a little bit and I'm not happy with it, so I'm going to move her back. I'm not happy with where I have her placed at all. Okay, well anyway, I'm going to stop over stressing because right now I'm just driving myself nutso. So here was the original Effie that I had for this. And he could go there, or he could be over here exploring. That makes it look like Ember is really far away. That gives a lot of good dimension. But I don't like the way he's facing. So then I have a forward-facing Effie. I just noticed this, but this particular iteration of Effie kind of looks cross-eyed. Poor Effie. But I like this one because I did say that this is, you know, the end of summer, the beginning of autumn. The seasons are working on changing again, and he has his hat and scarf on again. So I like that. But I don't really like the look of this. There's some stuff I'm not liking. This one looks too disjointed from the scene. Let's try an Effie facing the same way as Ember. I don't know that that really makes anything different. And let's try a great big Effie. So it looks like Effie is really up close and Ember is really farther away. That one does really create the dimension thing. And Effie does have his coat and his hat on. I think I'm going to use this one, but this one does not solve my how do I fold this problem, does it? Oh my. Oh my. I think I know what I'm going to do. I think I do, because I like this. The bigger Effie gives me more dimension, more perspective between the up-close Effie telling us his story about his very bestest friend Ember, and the Ember over on the beach watching the waves and the birds, watching her children fly over the ocean. I would be nervous. I suppose if you're a bird, you don't really get that kind of nervous, right? You know that your children will be fine because you taught them how to fly. I don't know. That first step out of the nest, though, that's a doozy right there. Is that a lot like human babies? Parents are really nervous when their little ones step out of the nest the first time. I'm still nervous. My oldest just turned 40 and my kids are in their 30s and 40, right? 2 in their 30s and the one just turned 40, and I'm still a nervous parent. I don't know that it ever goes away. Okay, here is Effie up close. telling us his story about his best friend Ember. And there's Ember. Now, let's see how the page is drying. Oh, very nicely. Okay. So I didn't get carried away with the water in the watercolor. The sparkles weren't dry though, and I just stuck my hand in it. Okay, whatever. Oh, good grief, girl. Okay, so if I glue this down right in smack dab in the middle, which is what I intend, right? If I fold this completely in half. All right, out of the way, Effie. Out of the way, Ember. I don't want to wreck them. So they're going to have to sit off to the side. I'm not going to crease this yet because I don't know that this is what I'm going to do. But if I folded this completely in half, I could put, I'm going to back this with tea-dyed paper. So it could have a writing section right here. But then half of it would be wasted, but I suppose it could be a tuck spot. I like having reasons for tuck spots. And then it would open this way. And you would see the last scene of them hanging out at the beach. I kind of like that. But I want, oh shoot. But I want lined, I want lines here then. And I have tea-dyed lined paper, but I don't think I want that because the lines are blue and I don't want, well, maybe they'll go okay on this page. But I don't think I like that. No, I don't. I want something more subtle, more beachy, less modern. Is there such thing as beachy writing lines? Sounds kind of ridiculous to me. Okay, I'm going to set that aside for a second. Let's get this covered. So this is going to be covered. And actually, I think I'll put Ember in place and cover the whole thing. That way, if I turn it into a pocket for real, whatever you put in the pocket won't get caught on Ember's feathers and feet. That's a decent place for Ember to be. Let's get Ember glued down quick. Uh-oh. Leave it to me to knock her all over the place. There we go. Okay. She is at least tacked in place, and let me grab, if it's still here anyway. Of course it's not. Well, whatever. Let me grab a piece of tea-dyed paper. And let's put a bunch of glue on here. We're going to make sure this puppy sticks. We don't want any separation going on. I am running so low on tea-dyed paper. I have a feeling that this Defember project might do in my supply, because I am going to turn the whole book into an actual journal, which means creating a bunch more journal spaces. And since some of it is tea-dye lined, I will probably line the rest of it the same way. right. Let's get this flattened out as much as we can anyway. Okay, I see an edge I kind of messed up. Not terrible though. All right, let's cut this out quick. I'm wondering, I don't know if, I wish Louisa and Barbara would have another Q&A session. I think they did on Instagram, but I'm not an Instagram girl at all. So I'm hoping for another one on YouTube someday, maybe. But I want to know if Effie was created using AI art. And if it was, well, if it wasn't, I mean, then that means Louisa drew him, and that's, I mean, that's fairly likely, right? I've seen stuff she does, and she's talented, but he kind of looks like AI art too, and I'm kind of wondering if she did that, what program she used, and how does she like it? Because I'm super interested in AI art, but there's some flaws in AI art right now, to me, anyway, and it's not really a flaw with the programs, because, I mean, there might be flaws with the program, but my problem with it is that a lot of the art coming out is the same. Like, Effie isn't one of the things I'm talking about, but I've seen a lot of other art, and a lot of it is just looking, it's super cool, but it's all looking so familiar. And just not enough variety. So if Effie came out of an AI program, that means the variety can happen. It's just not happening. And I'm super curious and want to get involved, maybe. But I really can't add any more stuff to my life, so I doubt I'll get involved in it, but maybe someday? Anyway, that's a question I have. I wonder where Effie came from. Where did Effie come from? All right. If Louisa's playing around with AI art, I want to know what she thinks of it and how that's going and all the stuff. I wonder if I have, oh goodness, I can't move Ember. I hope that look how close Ember's beak is to the center. If I fold this, I hope I'm not going to cut off her little nose. How do we like that? That's looking good, isn't it? All right, let's do the fold. Here we go. Ooh. Ember, if this hurts, I'm sorry. Let's get that bone folder back out. Okay, there we go. Now, should we see if we damaged Ember's face? Whoa, we did not. That was pretty close, though. Not as close as I thought. Thank goodness, I guess. Right? I did not destroy her face. Okay, so this is going to be a pocket on the page. This needs to be edged, and I kind of want that hard edge thing going on again, so I'm just going to use the whole thing. If I tilt it in, look, it catches anyway. I kind of like the way it catches like that. There we go. And I'll show you something. If it's sitting where I can see it. Never mind. I'm actually going to pause and get it. I'm going to find a thing. Hold on. Okay, well, crud muffins. I couldn't find the thing. doesn't surprise me though, because like I said, I've been reorganizing my studio and it's not done. So I'm not used to where everything is, and not everything is even put away yet. And it's clear plastic. So, I mean, I could be looking at it and miss it. So, I have it's just a great big sheet of plastic with the lines cut in it. So I can use my brushes to ink on lines. And the reason I like it is because the brush doesn't get through completely. And what it does is it creates a what? It creates a I don't know, fuzzier lines. It creates fuzzier lines, not so exact, not so precise. But I'm going to try putting some lines on with a ruler and lining it up with my cutting mat. And I'll just, okay, that was a little too light and that was a little too heavy. Of course it was. I'll leave that one that light. Maybe that's where I'm going to get the variation I want. This is exciting TV, isn't it? I'm sure you guys are riveted watching me draw lines. Oh, skip ahead, skip around, you know, whatever works. Or watch me draw lines. Maybe it's meditative. Maybe it's calming. It could be. That could be true. I know sometimes I just watch videos for chilling, even if they're like this and not super exciting. There we go. That's not as unfancy as I would have liked it, but it'll do. I don't even know what I'm saying these days. All right, let's see. This is going to go here, and it's going to be pocket form. So we're only going to glue it on 3 sides. Let's get it in place. It is a completely lined pocket, good for a few things. 1, should make it very strong. 2, you're not going to get hooked on Ember's feathers. And I guess there's not a third reason it's good. It's just good. Okay. There we go. You know what I just thought of? Gosh darn me again. I have been moving this page around like crazy, even though none of this stuff is glued into place. I may have lost more than just this bowl of fruit. I hope that's not the case, because that took forever and created a disaster in here. All right, let's get Effie put down on the page. And then we're going to get him in the book and take a look at where things are at right now. think I want them kind of right there. Kind of down more. There we go. Kind of over more. Okay. I think that's good Effie placement. I feel like that's good Effie placement. That feels like he's telling us a story and she is watching the waves while she waits for her friend to come over. All right. Now, we're going to need something on here. I'm not going to just leave it this brown page, right? But there's going to be something tucked in there. There's going to be something on here for decorating it. There might need to be something to hold it shut. It's very bouncy. I could put, I could get one of the mushrooms. Or when we pull the leaves out, maybe one of the leaves. And it could just tuck right in there. This is a leftover autumn leaf, I think. But yeah, something maybe to hold it shut, right? When I do some more detail work. Let's get the book out. And get this page put in the book. And then see what we're thinking about the looks of it. Because I know some things are making me very unhappy about the looks of the Effie book. The Defemorember book. So we'll talk about the things that are making me unhappy and the things that are looking pretty good. And how we can work on that. Open sesame! Let's put that right there where it goes. And put these guys in their windows. Wrong side. And I got it in the wrong layer of the pocket. You know what I should have done? And I didn't do. This one probably should have stayed a pocket, so I think this one being a pocket is good no matter what, because it's really hard to get at, and you wouldn't be able to unfold it anywhere. But this one, when I made the second pocket, I should have left that a fold-out journaling spot. So if I ever do something like this again, I will understand that there is opportunity for more journaling. Right now my coffee and all the garbage on my desk is in my way of moving properly. There we go. Obviously not done. Obviously not done. Also obviously not done. But look at that. Oh. Okay. Let's start from the very beginning and take a look at what we got to work on still. Oh my goodness. So future videos. You know what? Thank you to everybody who's been hanging out. Seriously. For all of you new subscribers and people who have been hanging out and checking in on the story and what we've been up to here. Did I hit the camera? I apologize, people. Thanks for hanging out. And thanks for checking out Defemorember stuff. And, you know, think about hanging out still. Think about watching some more, but either way, I really appreciate the comments and the viewing. That's wonderful. So here's the book. Here's the cover. Obviously this needs some work. I kind of wanted to make a plaque for right here. I wanted to make it say the first year, but I'm not liking this one at all. But the concept is still in my head. I don't know. I don't know. So I have said before that I might think about selling this book as a journal. And I thought that since it depicts the first year of a friendship, right? If I titled it The First Year, this could be somebody's journal for the first year of anything. The first year of a baby's life, the first year of a romance, the first year of a marriage, which might be very different than a romance. I mean, who knows? The first year of a job, the first year of anything, really, right? So I'm kind of liking this concept. This plaque though. Okay, so this will be on the front in some iteration. And then in the front page, I have made, I don't remember how I had this. I think like this. So I think this goes here and this goes here. Like this-ish. So I think this is how I had it. And then this will be a fold out blarg with some stuff, right, on the black cardstock. That will just be a base for whatever's going on there. And then this is a pocket. So stuff in here, stuff on here, stuff on the black. Fold out. Then we have the journal or the book itself. In this very first page, you will watch like through Defemember how I kind of got in the flow of things and more things were happening on each page, and then toward the end I crashed, and at the very last page, I mean, we're not even close to done on either one of those. And so you can watch the progression of how I was doing through Defemember. But here we go. Our very first page has the tag. I love the background, right? I think this is why I had this out here, because I think this is going to be a liner for this page. This is it's shadowy, right? Because I took the opacity down pretty low. But this is the same pattern as this. And I love the repeat, and I love that this is the black and white version, and this is the somewhat colored version, and then the full colored version is on the background of this card. It just makes the whole thing feel super cohesive. And the colors in the leaves match the colors in Ember. So this page needs some work. It's a little bland, but I'm thinking this will come together once this comes together. In any case, this does not match the rest of the book. Neither does this. So I've done some things already to my bird because I didn't think my bird showed up very well. And I might do some more things to him, but I don't want to overdo. Right? I don't want to wreck him because I think he's kind of cool looking. This is an uncut ATC card set, and I never finished it. It is tea-dyed paper-backed, but it's still just a masterboard chunk. So this needs to be worked on. And it should come together pretty easy once I have gone through all of the stuff over here and all of the stuff over here and decided what pieces are going to still be added into the journal. We had Selfie in a Bubble, the day they worked on decorating Effie's house for Halloween and found a Polaroid camera and the funny things that happened when they tried to take a picture together and how it finally ended up. They figured it out and they got it right. And there they are as a ghost and a witch for Halloween. Then Ember went away for a little while and Effie missed his friend. and started having not great dreams, not nightmares, right? But was really wanting his friend to come home. Here's a pocket here. There's a pocket page. My pocket pages mostly have a paper in them now, but this was the Clocks and Wings day, and there are the clocks and wings, and I measured what size cards go in each pocket, so I have to make these little cards and they will go in the pockets, and I kept the measurements in case I want to adjust them anyway. So little cards will go in there. Then the Christmas meets Halloween, when they had to talk about what their favorite holidays are, and Ember came home and found Effie still a witch and said, come on, we're gonna switch to Christmas. So Ember brought Effie a new hat, and they dressed themselves up in their Christmas gear. But Effie's favorite holiday is still Halloween. Ember's favorite holiday is still Christmas. So there's that. I don't like this page either. Not happy with it at all. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do to fix it. If you have any ideas, throw them at me, because I don't know. Anyways, this is a pull-out tag. Needs to be paper lined. This is a pull-out tag. Also needs to be lined. Next page. Kintsugi houses. I have also measured the Kintsugi houses for baby tags and put the baby tag sizes in there. I didn't write on the tags, and I didn't save the paper. I might have to sit and remeasure all the stuff. We have the winter fairy elves who left calling cards on Ember and Effie's doorsteps to thank them for taking care of Remy. They didn't know that was what was going on at all, but there you go. Then we have wrapping paper all over the floor because it's Christmas and that's what happens, and they bought each other the same present. And they bought each other this mushroom robot because they thought that was hilarious. And there he is. And he's kind of cute. He's kind of cute. Anyways, so yeah, they bought each other the same present, and that was funny. Hilarious. I think that this page needs some festivity, more festivity, to make it look more like wrapping paper, and I think it could use a little touch up. I'm not sure what. But a little bit. And then we have this one over here where Effie got sick. Effie wasn't feeling well. Look, he's not feeling well. So Ember brought him blankets and pillows. And the plaid in the pillow doesn't really show up that well unless you're sitting right here because it's really dark. There you can see it a little bit. And the dots, polka dots, they're on the paper, right? But they're kind of on Effie's face too, because he got mouse pox. And I know he's not a mouse, but not just mice get mice pox. Whatever Effie is, he gets mice pox too. This is a pocket. This is a pocket. This is a pocket. They don't have anything in them yet. So there is stuff to be made, and stuff to fill pockets are necessary. Any more pockets? I wonder if this is a pocket. It is. Look, there's a pocket behind all the fur. Anyways, I put all kinds of stuff on here because it was polka dots, plaid, and please touch. And so many other of you went tactile, as in rough and gritty and just metallic and patterny and whatever, and I just went for all furry things. Apparently I like the fluff. There was another period of time where Effie didn't see Ember for a little while and wasn't entirely sure why, but decided not to worry this time. And then it turned out that the reason why was because it was baby season. And Ember brought Effie up to her house to show off her nest and her babies. And Effie was instantly in love with all the little critters he met that day. You know what? Oh, here it is. Okay. So the problem with this page is that I don't have the nest looking nice yet. And I'm not sure what I'm going to do about that. But I was wondering if I use the other half of that little doily that they used for a blanket. If I just did that, that's not a nest. But I thought maybe Ember has the blanket hanging over the edge of the nest. I don't know if I could get away with that. I'll think about it. But it's kind of a fun idea. I mean, I like the look of it. Okay, and then Remy came back. This is Recycled Fairy Day. Remy came back and said hi and another thanks to Effie and Ember. And Effie was just amazed at how Remy looks now and said that she had been recycled. And Remy thought that was hilarious. So there is our journaling card with Remy recycled from her butterfly form to her full fairy form. And that remained a joke between all the friends. Ember is overwhelmed by all the babies, so she has gone off with Remy. She has gone off with Remy to have a spa day, and Effie is in the house making tea for the kids and himself and Grandma. And Grandma is the vintage and modern is the kids, and the kids are telling Grandma how she just doesn't get it. And Grandma's telling the kids, you guys just haven't learned yet. You don't understand. Then we have the boys going off to their own lives, and Bronwyn can't go yet because she's still too small, and Effie made them all friendship bracelets. Then what? Oh, then we have the snacks. The forgotten picnic basket where Remy came and got them and took them off to show them her garden and show them the magical fruits and vegetables and herbs and stuff in her garden. And they got so lost in that they completely forgot about their garden, and all of their snacks were stolen. All of these cards need to be backed. I think these pockets could use a little bit of decoration on them, and this page needs something because the stenciling is not connected at the top, and we might want some stuff growing on the bottom down here. This is obviously not done. I do have a plan for finishing the doors, and I told you the plan for the picnic. And then the last page. That's it. The first year of friendship between Effie and Ember. And this obviously needs some decoration, and so does the back page. I don't know what I'll do back here, but you can see there's a lot of work still to be done. Lots of cards to be made, lots of pockets to be filled, lots of details to be tended to. So I'm going to do some cleanup and do some resting for a couple of days, and then this is what we will come back to. A lot of the work that needs to be done on here and my own plan for January. I'm calling it Junk Journal January. I will not use the hashtag. I will not usurp somebody else's name, but I wanted to do Junk Journal January, and I'm not going to be able to because I kind of have my own plan and I really want to follow through with it. I'm going to be making, I'm calling it Junk Journal January Just the Bits. So if I can follow along with a prompt from Junk Journal January, if it inspires me, right, then I will mention that. Otherwise, I want to end January with a stock of master boards and beaded pins and paper clips and cut cards and tags and cover book, journal covers, cut and ready to go. I'm not sure what level I'll take that to, but just all kinds of things to do in January, and I want to end January with all of those pieces in place. I have so many journals I want to make. So many. And I think everybody should own a journal and do journaling in the form of writing or pictures or gluing things in or Zentangles or gratitude or Bible verses or however you want to do it. But telling our own stories is hugely important. And I'm off on a tangent, but I think journaling is stupid amounts of important, and I would like to motivate people who think that they can't or don't want to write in a journal every day because they think they have to write in a diary every day and they don't want to do that. I want to teach people that it doesn't have to be that. There are a billion different ways to journal, and it's stupid amounts of important, and it's stupid amounts of good for you. So yeah, I'll stop rambling because I apparently had too much coffee and I want to ramble a lot. See you in a few days, and we'll continue our work. Thanks for hanging out. Bye.